Hey everyone, this is Arch Gabe, and welcome to Freedom Society of the Republics. Well, it's been a while since actually, this is my first live, I believe, on my channel, but I haven't uploaded anything in a while on my channel. Anyway, so I decided right now it's October 26th, decided to do a live, and I wanted to talk about some of the things that I'm involved right now and taking a first step against tyranny, and I'm excited about it. I've been doing some Facebook Live quite a few times recently, so what I'm going to say in in this live, is going to be a little similar compared to my last Facebook Live. So anyway, all right. So recently, I got myself involved in a couple of projects. Okay, and wow, it's really nice out here. It's been a storm and a lot of debris here in the river. But I recently got into a couple of projects recently, and one of them, okay, is you know I talked about, or I posted this on my Facebook page, maybe I don't know, maybe a few months ago, maybe a year ago, but it was about the militarization of the police, the 1033 program, okay, and so I share that, and I've been sharing it even on X. I've been sharing this, and so this movie recently I watched called One Battle After Another. Right? It's going to be a little bit of a spoiler alert for those that haven't watched the movie, but the movie it is politically charged. Um, it it has some there's some stuff in the movie that kind of, I'll just put it like this. It's a lot to do with the immigration, but that and the highlight of that movie, okay, before I continue on what I'm going to say in my project, is that the military police, the police that's basically militarized, and that's working along with the U.S. military, okay, and I said, wow, the way the whole plot of this movie, the tyranny I've been seeing in this movie, I'm like, man, it's just really pushed me to really start the process against the 1033 program. Okay, yes, that movie, One Battle After Another, it is a 3 hour movie. Okay, and I felt very touched by it. It was, there's some inconsistency in the movie, but the meat of the movie for me was the militarization of the police and how they oppress people. So I'm right now. I'm starting a process in regards to removing the 1033 program statewide. But I'm gonna go forward with every state. Right now, I'm gonna start with Texas. Um, you know, there's some cities I look into this when I was researching this. There were some cities that that's not volunteer themselves into this program, but I don't really care about that. That's just not good enough. I'm gonna do it statewide, and I'm gonna do it in every state. And obviously, my intent for all this, it is for the interest for the general public. Okay. And at the same time, the police don't have no constitutional duty to protect us. That's another project that I am involved. I'm gonna get a lot of material off from the police, their training manuals, everything that states the investigation is gonna be about that. Do they any of their material? Do they state that? Do they have a constitutional duty to protect the public? So I'm going to investigate on that. But I am going to definitely crush the police state by removing the militarization of the police. Uh, and then again, it just expose the entire code enforcement. I don't like to call them law enforcement because, you know, it's just basically what it is that they imposing statutes and codes on people. Um, so that's one of the projects that I'm involved. But yeah, that movie, one battle after another, really pushed me into starting that. The other the other project that I'm involved now is removing the UN out of New York. Okay, it's located on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Yes, I'm from New York, so I know exactly where it's at. But I'm going to remove it entirely. It's not about relocating them out of that part of Manhattan, but just having them removed out of the United States of America altogether. Okay, there have been some people made some attempts to for the United States to withdraw their obligation to the United Nations, but the stuff that I put together and researching it, nobody hasn't done it the way I plan to do. I am going to involve. I'm going to put down the common law, all the laws from pre 1860. Okay, and there's a couple of detail, a lot of things I don't know if I want to discuss it here on the live, but I definitely want to maybe I'll upload some documents. I don't know. Maybe I'll do another live soon, but there's a lot of information I got in there. And I don't really want to talk about exactly because I just want to just tell you generally what I'm doing. Then I am excited about it, taking that step of removing the United Nations. A lot of people, even myself, but a lot of people in the past, they talk about how the UN, how they're involved and part of the Agenda 2030. And over the years, I have not heard anybody talk about how do we get rid of the UN, you know? That's the thing. People talk. I haven't heard anybody talk about that. What are we supposed to do about it? And a lot of people, just looking back now, a lot of people they express their frustration, and it's understandable that you express your frustration about how an entity like the United Nations, how they are involved, or how they are part of the New World Order. The United Nations is definitely violate the law of nations, and I'm going to use that part of that too. That I'll say that. All right, I am going to utilize the law of nations against the United Nations. Um, Look up what laws of nation is, folks. I want you to, for those that's listening to this right now, look it up. Look up what law of nation is. Man, I'm really enjoying this walk here. It's really nice outside on this Sunday afternoon. So yeah, so United Nations. So my next thing is that I am definitely. So I got the police, I got the militarization of the police, I got the United Nations, um, the solar farming. Okay, the I put together a product. For those that's been hearing about it, about the solar farming, how it's hurting the environment, this green scam energy, agenda. Uh, what it is that a lot of people have been complaining about how these solar farms, excuse me, how they are infecting the environment, the animals, the crops, the sound it makes, the machinery. They rely on diesel fuel. Um, so I put together a process for New York. Right now, I have a process together for Texas. Okay, and so yeah, I'm excited about that. It's because this is going to be really cool. Starting that, there's a number of projects that's tied into the solar farming. It's really excited about how to do it. It's basically forcing these companies. Uh, what it is that I'll just put it like this: you're forcing these people, these organizations, in regards what they're doing. Is it reasonable? They have to come up with all the data, everything they have. It's basically exposing their position, and then you have to file your petition. That's how you move in. I don't want to be too technical about it, but I just want to be brief about this process. I don't have the information in front of me. Obviously, I'm doing this live, but I want to, the goal is to, like for Texas, for example, and New York and other states, is to put a stop to these people from going forward with these solar farming. Um, it is definitely, I always look at this whole green energy thing as a scam. It's a little windy out. I hope this live video comes out that my voice is loud and then anybody can hear my voice. Anyway, so the whole thing with the green energy is just, it's all a scam. It's making you think that it's being done for the environment, but obviously it's not. It's the opposite. Uh, Diesel fuel or anything that's being put out there, or the technology is doing the opposite against the environment. Let me just say, for example, people talk about how these um, electric cars, how it's the benefit for the environment, but people never really look at about how they create the batteries of these electric cars and the chemicals that's involved. Okay, if you do some digging, you'd be surprised what you find. So these electric cars, especially like Tesla and any other electric cars here, looks like a grasshopper here. Yep. Oh. Oh wow! I'm starting to see people here saying hi. Hey, hi everybody. Sorry, I'm not really used to doing live on YouTube. So excuse me. I'm so focused on just talking and looking at the screen. Anyway, yeah. Hey everybody, thank you for stopping by, enjoying this Sunday afternoon. So yeah, if you look into these electric cars and what how they create these batteries, you'd be amazed what you find. Um, it's just, I don't fall into the scam. This stuff is just a lot of people fall for it because the government is keep pushing the agenda. How about the environment? But it's the complete opposite. So to go back with the solar farm, yeah, the solar farm. Um, it's doing a lot of damage. A lot of farmers, there's some farmers, they're at a certain age, they need the money. I understand they need the money and they're willing to sell their farm to these corporate entities. A lot of these corporate entities are from overseas. But the thing is, what it is, a lot of people are not looking at is the future. Okay? You're selling the land that you're on to these foreigners, and you're not really caring about the future. There are some people out there fighting against the solar farm, but the process I put together, I definitely would upload it into a website. I will, and I will do another video about it, directing folks of where to get the process and how to do it. None of the process that I'm going to upload is going to offer any legal advice. This is a lot of stuff that I put out there, or I plan to put out there, excuse me. It is for educational purposes, okay? So yeah, so I'm really pumped up about it because I feel like I'm really taking the step, um, doing something about it. I can't just sit there and complain about it, and that's what I've been saying a lot on my Facebook Live about people. We're too busy complaining about what this person's doing, or what these people in office doing, and we're not really doing anything about it. And look, I understand that you know it goes back, everything what you know. If you don't know certain things, okay, I get it. I get it. Not everybody knows everything. I don't know everything either. Okay, I'm very fortunate that I know what type of system we're dealing with. I know how they operate. Okay, and I know how people at large could defeat the system. Don't have to be bloodshed. No, no, it doesn't. Knowledge. You know, there are a lot of remedies out there, even within this legal system, to challenge their so-called authorities. How many out there, even though right now you listen, how many out there actually thought about, what? I don't like this bill that's been passed, right? and I'm going to challenge so and so in office. How many out there actually, put together whatever document and done the work, do the research, right, and actually challenge the bill or whatever statute that they put out there to oppress you? How many out there that have done it? You know, you know, we're too busy complaining, and that's how the system. See, that's how the system operates. It loves when people complain, because here's the thing: when you complain, what is the first thing that we're gonna really think about? We're gonna think about voting. I don't like this person in office. Okay? Man, I'm sorry, excuse me. Look at these trees here. Really beautiful out here. I just love the landscape here. And by the river and everything. Really nice. Anyway, but to go back what I'm saying, like most people will just think about voting. And for those of you that's following me on X and on Facebook, I already exposed about the system and the 14th Amendment, about how voting in this, see, when you vote, you're not really changing anything. You're voting to maintain the same system designed to oppress you, folks. This is what's hard for a lot of people to understand. When you vote, you are maintaining the same problem. And what's going to happen is what's going to continue to happen. It's been happening for over 100 years now. They're going to continuously pass executive orders, or obviously, let me just put it like this. The system operates under emergency powers. It's constantly always an emergency, because they're using that to go outside of the Constitution, the limitation that's there. That's the way this system operates. They're going outside the Constitution, state and federal, to constantly be in an emergency to oppress you, folks. That's the way they operate. So to go back to the stuff that I'm getting myself, the process that I'm involved is. So I mentioned about the police, I mentioned about the UN, the solar farms, okay. The Department of Homeland Security, ICE, okay. They need to be dealt with. You know, Hear a couple of dogs barking. I don't want to show people's faces, but it was these cute dogs here anyway. Anyway, now the Department of Homeland Security obviously was created through 9/11, and those of you are open, and it's an inside job. And I don't really say it's an inside job like that because I know where it goes. I'll put it like this, folks. Let me just put it like this for you to understand. When you vote, you're voting for the same system that's behind 9/11. It's not about so-and-so in office. It's not about that. It's the system itself. We focus on these demagogues about how they make your life miserable. No, 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 no. It's the system that we're maintaining. So I want you to really think about it. If you're thinking about voting, remember 9/11, for example. Okay? Just remember that. So Department of Homeland Security and ICE. There's this article I read, and I looked and I verified it. It's called Operation Midway Blitz. There was a person in Illinois, okay, there was a vehicle that just stopped, that cut through his path, and they told this, I don't know, it was a 20-something-year-old man. They told him not to run. He had his camera up, okay. I think he started running away. They nabbed him. They shoved his phone away. They basically kidnapped him. They kidnapped him, and they wanted to know that if he's a U.S. citizen. And I heard stories that they let him go, that they verified that he's a U.S. citizen. But this has been happening. Been reading from different sources. This has happened a lot. A lot of people are being nabbed by ICE. Okay, so I'm like, I say to myself, this got to stop. This got to stop. There's something needs to be done about it. Even a person that was being interviewed, I think it was the same gentleman that was nabbed. He was saying something to the reporter that this have to stop, and everybody will agree this have to stop. Okay, So what I did naturally, I researched all the limitations that DHS and ICE operate, and I said to myself, you know what? They need to be dissolved. You know, they need they have to be something needs to stop. So I put together a process to do something about it. Now, for those of you are for DA for Department of Homeland Security and ICE, you think that they're doing something good. No, they're not. And let me just put it like this, folks. I don't. And before I continue, I'm not a left. I don't support any political party platform. I think for myself. I think about natural rights. I think about constitutional laws. Okay, how the Constitution is designed to protect people. Okay, natural rights belongs to every man and woman. I don't care what country you're from. Okay, due process is for everybody. You know, you being nabbed by an agent here in the states. Okay, there are due process that's available. What I've learned is that when a ICE agent when they operate through administrative law. Okay, and this is kind of tricky here. This takes a little bit. This takes a lot of research. There's things that people don't realize. The agency I operate through administrative law. Okay, due process only operates through criminal law. Okay, okay. But the thing is, how it's being pushed as that the people that's crossing the border committed a crime. Okay, but they're supposed to be heard. It's supposed to be a trial. But you know, I would love to. There's some stuff. There's some things I would love to discuss with folks, and I don't have my obviously. I like to have it set up on my laptop so I can read some of the stuff to you folks what I learned. The people that's being, let's say, all the people at the border, right? That's all behind the cage, and they're given a fair trial. Okay, they're not. The ICE and HS, they have no lawful creation. Okay, and that's what I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack their authority. I'm going to attack the fact that why people are not getting due process. Okay, all right. That's what I'm gonna. That's part of the. That's actually the major part of the process, actually. So I'm like, man, this have to stop. You know. I don't like what's going on. I don't get myself involved in a lot of political hype, a lot of stuff here, that distract us by design. I don't. I just, because, a lot of stuff that's being designed straight you, and it is to distract you. And, I don't want to, that's why I have to stay focused. Okay? I have to stay focused. I hope you can hear me because I'm putting the mic close to my mouth here, and it's kind of windy. It's not like it's not windy that severely. It's just the wind. These mics sometimes could be a little sensitive. Anyway, so yeah, I don't like how these agencies are bullying people, and thinking that people are just not going to do anything about it. These attorneys. They're not there. I'm just telling you personally, the attorneys are officers of the court. They're not really going to stop these agencies. They're not going to challenge their authority. They're not going to do any of the things that I plan to do, folks. Okay? I will still tell folks, if anybody comes to me about different things, I will not give you legal advice. I'm just telling you the things that what they do and what I plan to do. What I'm doing is that I'm going to challenge their authority, and I'm going to eliminate these agencies one at a time. That's the goal. I said on my Facebook page that I'm going to break the enemy piece by piece, and I meant it. I meant it. I don't just talk the talk. I'm actually going to do it. So yeah. This is what I'm getting myself involved. I have no regrets. This is part of my path. Because this system is expanding. It's getting worse. It doesn't matter who's in office. I understand the psychological games that the system plays on us. Whether it doesn't matter, left, right, libertarian, doesn't matter. You call yourself independent, doesn't matter. The system I look at is the enemy. It is the enemy against everybody. Everybody. Okay? If you don't know law, the law is the supreme law is common law. You don't know that. If you don't know your liberties, your natural rights, okay, folks, the system can continuously jerk you around, and that's how they operate. So, and then lately, I have a couple of litigations that I'm involved. Obviously, it's against, I'm defending my rights and liberties, and it is a learning experience. I'm learning how the fraudulent court system operates, and I am using some of their bullshit codes against them. I am. So I'm constantly learning about how the legal system works, and I'm learning also about how the laws, for example, common law, especially how everything was working before 1860. So I am definitely using these things to my advantage. So yeah, this is definitely, and it does take a lot of my time. It does. I work full time. I'm very busy. I don't really have a lot of time to getting distracted. I'm glad I am busy because it don't leave my mind idling. It's just like I'm gonna like, because that's what happened. People are not. There's no solution. The system's not going to tell you a solution how to stop the insanity of what's going on. What they do is that they're going to have these political parties divide each other. Right now, there's a government shutdown, this fraudulent system that is shut down. They could stay shut down for all I care. But, and they're going to get people riled up. They know how to play, they know how to get to your mind, folks. They'll do anything. Do you understand, folks? Everything that the system does is to manipulate you. Everything it does. If you're a conservative or a liberal, understand that that belief structure that you hold up is being used against you. You could be a liberal and be proud all you want, but your own belief structure is being used against you. You have no idea. You really don't. If you're a conservative, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your own belief structure is being used against you. Okay? We have a common enemy, folks. We have a common enemy. And it's not going to get better. It's not. You have to get involved. You're going to have to, again, like I understand, like, I don't want to keep this live too long, but I understand it's all about what you know. It's all about, if obviously, if you don't know certain things, what are you going to do? What direction that you're going to go? It's like, you can sit there and vent how frustrated you are all you want, but there's things you don't know, So I'm going to do my best to put together the products and upload them. Okay, I'm going to do it. Sometimes I have a little tendency to try to do all at once, and I can't do everything all at once. So you can only do one at a time. So yeah, I'm definitely just stand by. Just stay tuned about until my next clip on this channel. There's some other stuff that oh yeah, so another project that I'm planning to get involved real soon. I want to help the natives reclaim their land back, and I'm talking about, for example, like out west, to New Mexico, Oklahoma. I'll look into Texas too, Colorado, Kansas, Utah. A lot of these places I'm going to look into those. The underground bases out in New Mexico and Arizona. Nevada also. Yeah, there's a lot of underground bases that the federal owned, along with the private, we call it private contractors. I'm gonna put a stop to that too. The little games and the little experimental stuff that they do over there, it's gonna stop real soon. It's gonna stop. So when I put together the process and the things that I've learned, okay, everything, I'm using all the tools I can get to learn a lot of this. I'm going to reach out to different tribes, independent, different organization that's not tied with the federal. Okay, I'm going to reach out to different tribes and share to them, the process, And if they're open to it, you know, I will share everything. Obviously, I would need, an attorney that's a tribal attorney to go into these places to investigate, far as these bases goes, these secret bases. Yeah, I'm going to do that. There's a lot of details involved in this process. There's a lot going down this hill here. Just so you know what, let me just do it. Anyway, there's a lot involved in regards to this. What I just told you, and I researched a lot. I'm like, I did the research that if the natives are happy about the federal using their land. A lot of them say no, they're not. The Indian reservation, I wanna stop the Indian reservation too. They are camps. Indian reservations, they are government camps. They was forced out of their own country and placed there. Okay, I'm part Cherokee, by the way, folks. I don't know if I share that in my other videos in this channel, but yeah, I'm part Cherokee, and I definitely want to help out. I want to help out. I know Mount Rushmore. The actual name of that site was called the Four. I think it's called the Four Grandfathers. Okay, there was a very sad history in that site before it became Mount Rushmore. I want to deface that mountain again, just destroy that and give it right back to the tribes that belongs. I think it's called. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the tribe that belongs to that land. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I can't believe I forgot. Anyway, sorry I forgot. Anyway, just I have a lot in my mind, but there's a lot of tribes out there. There's a lot of tribes I haven't heard of. Okay, there's a lot. But yeah, I want to give the lands back. All the national parks. Actually, Franklin D. Roosevelt started these national parks back in the 50s and stuff. I wanted to challenge that and reverse that and bring get the natives, get their land back there too. That's only if they want to. But there's a gentleman. I was following his channel. He went to different Indian reservation. I hate saying the word Indian, but different tribe, different reservation. The reason why I say I hate Indian because obviously the pirate Columbus, he mistaken them as people from India and they call them Indians. So the appropriate way is to identify them by their tribes. Okay, that's how you identify them. Like me, I'm a Cherokee. Okay, I'm part Cherokee. Okay, all right. I don't say I'm part Indian. Anyway, so he went to different reservation and he basically talking to a lot of the natives there about the condition they've gone through. Do you know that some of the reservations, the poverty level inside the reservation is below, folks, is below the worst neighborhoods out in the several states, folks. I'm seriously. I just can't believe it. I mean, I'm not surprised, actually, excuse me. I'm not surprised, but the conditions and a lot of those reservations is really bad. And yes, I haven't been to the reservation, and I plan to very soon. But a lot of this, I appreciate this gentleman going to different reservations, talking to the natives, and hearing them, hearing different tribes, what they go through, because they don't really have a voice. I don't think a lot of people pay attention what they go through. Okay, people don't really understand about the Trail of Tears and how it is in connection with the manifest destiny. Okay, this all started in the 1840s, around the 18. I'm going through the timeline correctly, around the 1840s and everything. And then I think the first reservation was created somewhere. I could be wrong. I think around the 1860s. I gotta look into it again. I might be wrong on that, but yeah, they was forced. A lot of tribe was forced, eliminated, and forced into the federal camps. All right. Let me just say this too. I don't know if you all ever heard about, I think during before World War II. Okay, I think it was right after Pearl Harbor. You know that all the people the Japanese people that was U.S. citizens, it was all rounded up and sent into a camp. Huh? The craziness of that time era. I mean, this is like unbelievable. Like, why is these things are not talked about? These things are not talked about. And I laugh when people talk about this is the land of the free. Are you actually? I mean, I don't know. I think it's obviously pure ignorance. Land of the free. You know, it said that we're not really taught what real freedom is. We're not really taught about what freedom actually entails. Let me just put it like this, folks. When you have a government dictates to your life what you can and can't do, you're not free. You're not enjoying the freedom that our forefathers enjoyed. When we defeated Great Britain, you're not enjoying the same the natural rights and liberty that they fought and won, that they fought for and won. Okay, you're not. What you have as a U.S. citizen is privileges and immunities that could be taken away at any time. The system dictates your life. Okay, they tell you what you can and can't do. They tell you what you do with your body. They tell you how to raise your child. They tell you whether if you could have a business or not. They tell you where to live. Oh, wow. You got to visit my Facebook page. I posted something about the projects. About, you know, how these projects in the urban areas, that's all part of a social condition. You know, for the poor class. Oh, you got to read that post. You should visit my Facebook page. It's called Freedom Society of the Republic. I think you go to my link tree on my info. I think the link to my Facebook page is there. But anyway, no, we're not free, folks. We're not free at all. Okay, we're not. We're subject in the statutory system, and here's the thing: it's all by our consent. It's all by our consent. Everything that we go through, all the suffering, all of it, okay, all the suffering you go through in the hands of the system is by consent. All of it. It may seem like it's forcing on us. No. It's by consent. Anyway. Oh, man. I could go on and on. But I want to just do this live video. I know it was a little long. I thought it was the perfect day to do it, perfect time to do it. But I wanted to talk about the stuff that I'm involved, you know, between the UN, between the 1033 program, between the police that have no constitution duty to protect us, and what else? And getting a native, helping them get their land back. The solar farming, I talked about that. I cover a lot of stuff in this live video. Oh, man, really nice. So, yeah, so stay tuned. Thanks for stopping by. I'm just trying to think of something else I want to cover before I go. I think I cover a lot. Yeah, just remember, folks, when you keep this in mind, when you have somebody in office telling you they think they're looking out for you, remember who your enemy is. Okay? Your enemy is the people in office locally, is the people in the state house, and it's the people in the federal level. They are your enemy. Yes, the people in uniform, yes, they are your enemy too. Because I'm going to expose the fraud of the Gestapos. I'm going to expose the fraud. I'm going to do it in such a way that everybody's going to know that they have no obligation to protect you. They have none. I'm going to force it upon them. They're going to tell the public because everything is all the court cases about the police have no constitution duty to protect us. It's there publicly, but it's not in a way that everybody that talks about back to blue. A lot of these people don't know that. They don't know that, for example. I'm going to use those group of people, for example, the back to blue crowd. They don't know the stuff that I know. Okay? They don't know that. So now I'm going to put it out I'm going to make it that everybody knows. And then I'm going to also, again, I'm going to eliminate the 1033 program statewide, each state at a time. Okay? Because if you have no constitution duty to protect us, then why are you arming yourself with military gear? You see, I asked that question a lot of people on X. I haven't got a logical answer. All I got was cognitive dissonance. I need somebody to think. I need somebody to able to carry a conversation with me and talk logically, without your emotions involved. Okay, without you being butthurt because of your belief systems being questioned. I need somebody to sit there and think, ask questions. You know what I'm talking about. Ask questions. Well, why nobody told us that? And why they do it anyway? These are the questions you need to ask. Anyway. Alright. Man. Thank you again for stopping by. I will definitely do another live, I guess. I'll do another live. I'll probably do another, either I'll do a live or I'll do a video. But today I'm going to all of the products I was talking about, the things that I mailed the process out between the UN and the 1033 program. Oh, another process. Sorry, before I go, the weather modification. Okay, that's another thing that I plan to stop too. Starting with Texas. Oh yeah, and you can. It can be done. It's not something that you can't. Oh, I wish I can. No, 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 no. It can be stopped. And I got all the stuff. I got all the stuff laid out right there for me. And I'm going to have fun with this. But yeah, I'm going to stop the weather modification over Texas. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll put that up there too, my website for those that really want to get involved. Again, none of the products that I plan to put offers legal advice. Okay? This is all for educational purposes, but I'm just sharing with you and, giving you hope, okay, that all the craziness that's happening can't be stopped. It's going to have to take work on our part, folks. It's not going to come suddenly. We have to do the work. You're going to have to be uncomfortable going outside what you know. You're going to have to do the work and be willing, be committed, and stay focused. That's how it's helping me, staying focused. All right, folks, thank you again for stopping by. Until then, I will be back with another interesting topic. Take care.